like somebody else to do the producing, and I just have to. Yeah. This thing ain't gonna work. And there we go.
And live from the beautiful penthouse apartment.
This is living.
Live from beautiful penthouse apartment. It's time for Van Halen's Attic.
Van Halen's hail and hearty farewell. Yeah, right.
Enjoy our first farewell performance. We may have several hundred of these farewell performances.
Yes. It's a pinwheel production. It's a pinwheel something.
It looks like an avant-garde Captain America shoe. Oh, and that's how I look like as a little boy there. Where's the rest of these? All right. Isn't that a wonderful? That's a wonderful.
We've come full cycle to the days of early television. They didn't know what they were doing either.
Now we're going to hear it. We're going to hear
Stop it. It's going to come back. I know it is.
We're going to listen to a medley of tunes.
Thunder there. This is the Australian version.
The war goes down the counter.
Okay.
Very nice.
And that's
very
something. It's art. Believe it or not, it's art.
Hello,
Art
Mr. Van Halen.
Yes. Mr. Van Halen.
Mr. Van Halen.
Actually, it is the same name as Van Halen, Van Halen.
Yeah.
They said it's Van Halen, but, anglicized, when you come to America, it became Van Halen.
Yeah.
It means of the town of Holland.
Yeah.
Halen.
Of the place of Holland.
Of Holland. Well, that too, yeah. I don't know much about my Dutch ancestry, which is only a piece of me.
Yeah.
And
except
I like Rembrandt, and my dad and I shared a great love of art and all that stuff.
You ever wear wooden shoes or have a windmill, eat tulips?
Actually,
I don't even know what they eat in Holland.
Actually, I went to a very bad podiatrist who gave me wooden shoes to fix my flat foot.
Oh, man.
I'll never forget that.
With splints and everything. I see people.
She was goofy.
I see people wearing Crocs, which are these plastic shoes, and they tell me how comfortable they are, and I assume they are because
Crocs?
they seem to have Crocs.
That sounds like something from the 70s.
I think.
Oh, I'm wearing Crocs. It's the in thing to do. Wear Crocs.
I think they were a '90s thing. Now the '70s shoes were the ones with the heel in the front.
Yeah, you go backwards and sliding down. I'm wearing these. They're ergonomic shoe, and I'm falling off the back of a mountain. Hi.
You were going uphill like it's just a man going upstairs.
Yeah, they were the ergonomic. I think they were the ergonomics.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's keep talking. I was trying to find something.
Yeah.
But I was going to give you a rim shot.
I don't need that.
Oh,
that's what Katie Couric would do.
That's for Shecky Green. Only Shecky Green needs that.
Not even that. A real funny man doesn't need stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm a real funny man. I am a real funny man. You know how I know? How you know that?
My husband likes real demanding coffee. Yeah. God, we don't have enough room around here for anything. Yeah.
It's such a small place.
Yeah.
House,
It's cozy. It's cozy and it's unique and it's got an ambiance.
Yeah.
And everything is within reach, more or less.
It's like
his head.
an old English pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to, when winter comes, I'll wear my pub hat.
Oh, you know what I found out
I got
about?
a good pub hat.
You know what I found out about houses and apartments, and the bigger they are, the more stuff people have. Meaning that
it's like the George Carlin thing, you know. The more room you have, we gotta get more stuff.
In other words, the bigger the house, the less people throw out.
Well, it's like the universe; it keeps expanding and expanding, and wherever there's room, we got to put something there.
Yeah. I mean, I go to big houses all the time of friends of mine, and they still have bronze shoes there from when they were babies and stuff.
Oh yeah. I was thinking about bronze shoes the other day. In fact, I was going to look for my bronze shoes
there you go.
Bring on the show, but I couldn't find them.
Yes.
I don't know if I had any. It used to be such a fad. Everybody had to bronze their little baby shoes.
Yeah.
And what happened to the feet that went in there? They bronzed everything. And now the whole neighborhood is like some sort of logic in that. I don't know.
We used to make jokes about we used to make jokes about the Olympic bobsledding team, and they were so dumb that they got gold medals and then they had them bronzed.
Well, there was a bobsledding team from the Caribbean.
That's right. They made a movie about it. Cool Runnings.
Yeah. What did they practice on? They rented space in Switzerland or something.
I think the movie was it was a Disney film, so it was kind of like it was fictional, but it was based on a true occurrence.
I actually know the composer that did the soundtrack.
Oh, what's his name? What else has he done?
Neil Guinness, something like that.
All right.
He lives up in Scottsville, my family hometown.
There you go.
A lot of Hollywood people kind of drift in and out of there once in a while. Like Sam Shepard and
that's right.
And Jessica Lange lived up
in Charlottesville. Yeah.
No, they lived in Scottsville.
Okay.
Which is where my people come from.
Yeah.
And
I once ran into Sissy Spacek in Richmond.
I sat next to her in a restaurant one time.
Oh yeah, what?
I didn't talk to her. I was too shy.
Oh, I have no problem talking.
I know. I need to bring you along. I'm sitting there thinking, now how can I open this conversation?
Say, are you gonna eat that roll?
Yeah. Now that's a good opening. Good opening to any conversation.
What's she gonna say? No. She can say yes. I once had a guy in a restaurant ask me for my pickle. I said, no, I bought this meal. I want my pickle.
Sissy Spacek worked on the crew.
Yeah.
Not the talent side of the ledger line, but the crew side. The gophers and the grips and all that. She worked on Eraserhead.
That's right.
Now that's something to put on your resume.
Well, actually, believe it or not,
with all the Academy Awards.
Sissy, I met her downtown Richmond. I just ran into her. I just said, hey, hi, Sissy. And I know her husband's name is Jack Fisk. And he was with her. So I said, hello, Jack. And everyone
said, do we know this guy? Yeah.
Well, you want to know the crazy thing? When I meet celebrities, and I've done this a few times, I've actually said, hey! I once went to Dick Cavett in New York, and I said, Dick, I didn't know you were going to be here. And then he shook my hand.
And he said, yes, it's so nice.
And then he probably walked away. He goes, was he ever on my show?
He's met so many, he probably can't remember.
And Woody. Well, I mean, yeah. And then, well, anyway, so getting back to Jack Fisk, he's actually a production designer on many films.
Still trying to
by
find
Terence Malick.
Yeah.
And also for David Lynch films. And thus, that makes... And Terence Malick and
who is
made
Terrence?
a film.
I should know. I know the name, but I can't remember who Terence Malick is.
He directed Badlands. And,
yeah.
We actually talked about a movie.
No. Yeah. He did direct a movie that I like.
Days of Heaven.
Days of Heaven. That's
pretty much the only film he's ever made that anyone likes.
Yeah.
They're all good films. He made a film about Jamestown once.
Oh, you mean that
with
thing about
Christian Bale? Yeah,
the thing about
the New World.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was sort of almost in that, and that was a badly made movie.
Well, it was a Terence Malick film.
And he had dancing brooms.
Yeah.
That's why I bring this up. That's the reason why it didn't quite make the critics' list, because right in the middle of settling the New World and Jamestown and these very pithy moments, these dancing brooms come across the scene, and it just didn't quite make it into the pantheon.
Didn't you
of artistic endeavor?
You know, most people are kind of bored with the Fantasia until Mickey Mouse shows up.
That's right.
I thought the whole thing was exciting, but
I love that. I love the whole thing. But I mean, I started out with the Mickey. They used to show it in black and white on TV when I was a little bitty kid, and that's all they showed. Mm-hmm. And I was just fascinated by those big ears and watching that wizard.
Do you know that the Jetsons was canceled because it was a very colorful show back in 1962, and there's only one season of the Jetsons, and there was no color TVs. There weren't enough color TVs to make it good.
Well, wait a minute. You don't know what you're talking about. You got your facts mixed up. I mean, Huckleberry Hound was in color long before the Jetsons did. The Flintstones was in color long before the Jetsons even hit the fan, or whatever it is cartoons do. But they were in color.
Yeah, they were. I know they were in color.
Rough and Ready that was the first color TV I ever saw. Was Rough and Ready. Gee, Rough. It was like a very early Hanna-Barbera show, and the color was terrible. But I saw it in Sears, and isn't that amazing? And it was like little ribbons of yellow and little ribbons of red, and
it would take you all day long to adjust those TV sets.
I said, "Gee, Dad, I want to buy one of those plastic screens for $25." And you remember those things you could order in the back of a comic book?
I saw them. Yeah, I never see one in person. But didn't you have one? You said when you were a kid.
I
saw it. You wanted one. I wanted one too because I was kind of tired of watching.
I think I saw
black and white TV.
Yeah. I bought my own color TV. I wanted one so bad I was delivering papers, and I saved up my money and got my own color TV. Nobody in the whole family, I had it upstairs. Yeah. Here, this is where
you wouldn't share it with your family.
No. Well, Dad was real supportive. This was a big attic room. This is where I grew up, is in this room where Frankenstein used to chase me. But Dad, we bought with a round tube, a great big 25-inch or whatever, and it had no legs. It was the cheapest color TV you could get, and Dad built a stand for it, and there it was. Yeah. We put it on top of this little table, and the main thing I remember watching was Duck Soup
in black and white.
Groucho in black and white.
I remember wanting a color TV, and I wanted to watch Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
And what was weird about Gilligan's Island it was on for 2 years. The first year was on in black and white, and my mom saw that the commercials were in color, but the TV show itself was in black and white. She said, "There's your color TV. I hope you're satisfied." And of course, she didn't buy me one. It's kind of hard to believe. You know what I heard about color TVs that are kind of cool? About black and white TVs that are kind of cool. That if you hook up a VCR to one and get the signal to make a recording, you could record it on a black and white set, and then when you play the videotape, because the signal is either in color, you play the tape that you got it from and put it in there.
Another urban legend bites the dust.
Yes. I've never put that to the test because I've never really hooked up a VCR to a black and white set. That's pretty cool.
I heard you could take a color tape and with a little pocket knife, you could scrape it and get all the shavings and put them in a bag and shake them up and dump them into the top of the TV. That was a legend too.
There's also little people that live in a TV.
Did you ever get in your TV when they were working on the TV? You ever get in the back?
I wanted to see
the TV. Yeah, just a big box. But, I had an old Sylvania. I love that old Sylvania, black and white, first TV I ever knew, and you couldn't get Channel 8 exactly right. You had to just barely put it between 7 and 8 or 6 and just balance it there
Yeah.
to pick up channel 8. You couldn't put it on 8.
Yeah.
But I got so damn good. I was such a TV kid. I could go 6 or 12 or 6 or 12. I could go right to 8 and right in that balance. I go in a split second.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself.
Yes.
I was a techie nerd, and I never really got beyond that point.
We used to get very excited if we can get shows from Norfolk, like Channel 3 or Channel 10. And what was cool about that was, I don't know why, but it seems like everyone's TV is... It seems like every city but Richmond had the best TV. You go to like New York or Washington or Norfolk, and they had such better like Saturday morning shows, much better like afternoon shows when we got home from school. I mean, all we had was like Gomer Pyle and
they had better donkey car commercials too. Down in Norfolk, they had this guy that would sell cars with a big stuffed rhino. He says, "Boy, come on down. We're going to have a deal. We're going to have a deal right now." And he had a Stetson on, and he had a giant stuffed rhino. And my friend Buford here is going to make sure you get a big deal, because ain't that right, Buford? Buford, you don't talk much. But anyway, Buford is the Buford rhino right here, down here at Buford Ford. You come down and get some right now, and don't you buy no ugly rhino. I mean, don't you buy no ugly truck, because what we got here is the creme de la creme. That's French. That's French. Don't tell me I ain't sophisticated, because we is. Car.
Surprised he didn't wear a beret or something.
Yeah, he wore Stetson.
Wore Stetson, okay.
Yeah, had to wear Stetson. And I think the rhino did too.
I never understood those car commercials when I was a kid. They'd have these guys, and they'd say, we're not making any profit. We're selling $1 over the cost or something. But we pass to say, no, they're making money left and right.
I know. Yeah, I know. And damn it.
No, yeah.
Oh, anyway.
You seem to be doing fine.
I wanted a rim shot.
Oh, wow.
That's one kind of
That's
shot.
A gun.
Anyway,
Gunshot.
Yeah. Violence
Yeah.
is everywhere in television today.
To me, those sound too much like canned laughter. And I never liked canned laughter. And I'll tell you what I don't like about canned laughter. I had the dumbest people I grew up with, and they always, and there would be these episodes of like The Odd Couple and stuff with no applause and everything. And they never,
Get the little hands.
No, they can see it.
Okay. Who says we ain't got quality?
Yes.
What you said.
Oh, wow. It sounds like a rainstorm.
I know it. We are...
Sounds like you have a warm front and a cold front coming in right above us. And a raining on top of us.
Yeah.
So I never cared for so anyway, there would be these episodes of TV shows, and
yeah, this is your monolith. Use it on camera at the right cue.
Or what am I?
You'll understand.
If I could read from this.
No, hold it up. Hold it up to the screen. It's a monolith. Stanley Kubrick. Raise it up.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, now I know what you want. Glasses for that. I thought you wanted me to sing from this.
No, I didn't
even know what you were playing.
Yeah. Great. Anyway, yeah, But you did do the monolith, yeah.
I did.
And we've had an
Not as good as I should.
earth-shattering
I couldn't keep it
enlightenment experience. Yes.
Do you know that there is a
One of those.
a record album called "Who's Next" by the Who, and it shows all three of them, or four of them peeing. I think there's three of them in the picture.
Next?
They're peeing on the monolith. And the reason why they're doing this, somebody told me this, is that they asked Stanley Kubrick to direct Tommy, and he just turned them down. So that was their way of getting back at Roger Daltrey and
this. I gotta say,
I think it was a popular album in its day, late 60s.
I went to one of their concerts.
The Who?
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
No, the Who.
The Who.
Yeah, Who. Yeah, my friend.
Guess Who or Who?
My friend Tommy, the big rocker, dragged me down there, but it was pretty good. I'm a big John Entwistle fan who was part of the Who.
Yeah,
and he did real nice kind of monster horror kind of stuff, and I used it on the soundtrack to one of my early films. It was like. It was like, please wake me up, I'm having a nightmare. Something.
Yes. John Entwistle. Was the bassist for The Who, and they made a documentary called The Kids Are All Right. And I'm not kidding you. He barely says 2 words the whole documentary. The other 3 guys are doing all the talking. Keith Moon was he had died shortly, but he died,
didn't he? Yeah.
He died.
I liked his music.
He was the drummer, and he died while when the movie came out. He was already dead, which was kind of sad. But they never mentioned, even in the documentary, that he died while they were editing the film. But the other 2 guys, Daltrey,
he needed a good agent, is what he needed. This man.
What he needed was a sponsor, TA or something.
Like Mozart could have made it a lot easier if he had a good agent. He needed more money, more shekels.
Somebody told me about Mozart and the movie kind of shows this, is that Mozart,
the movie
was no, but
it's a good movie, but it's not. Yeah.
But he actually was quite successful as an older man. Just that he spent so much money.
No, well, the real problem was he was a freelance. He was the first freelancer. He broke ground. Everybody had a patron back then. They had the king or the duke, and he had a little trouble. He would miff the
management.
Yeah, but actually, the king kind of liked him, and he did have an appointment to be the musical director of the big cathedral. Yeah. He was waiting for the other guy to die off, and he would take his place. Yeah. He had been appointed to that when he was waiting for that when he died. Yeah. But he was the first freelancer. He was actually making more money than any other freelance musician. Yeah. Salieri made more because he had the king as his patron. But all the other musicians, Mozart, and he had to keep up appearances to sell himself. He had to wear those fancy red coats, and he was always moving to new apartments. But the movie Amadeus is really an opera kind of based on his life. Yeah. And you know how crazy operas are. Yeah. But and it was written by
Peter Shaffer.
No, originally it was written by Rimsky-Korsakov.
From way back.
It was an opera. It was based on an opera called Mozart and Salieri.
Yeah.
By Rimsky-Korsakov.
Yeah. Wrote Scheherazade.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was great. You remember? He was buried in a potter's field.
Rimsky-Korsakov?
No, Mozart.
Oh, Mozart,
They even show that in the movie,
Yeah, they couldn't afford more than that.
Yeah. He has no...
a lot of the facts have been...
Yeah. Well, I don't think Salieri was like he was... I mean, he's instrumental in his in Mozart's demise,
But I don't think
No,
it was
no.
that way, yeah.
Actually, they got to be fairly on good terms by
Yeah.
the end, and they would attend each other's opera. When Mozart was doing the Magic Flute,
Yeah.
Salieri came to see it,
Yeah.
and
First opera I ever saw in person was a Mozart. Was the Magic Flute.
that's
The Zauberflöte.
the Zauberflöte, and that's Rimsky-Korsakov,
That's what he looked like?
something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Yavur? No, he wasn't. He was Russian.
He was a Rus.
Ruski das Ruski, and he and Mussorgsky used to share rooms and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to keep that forever.
Oh no, that's it. That's it. It's gone. It's gone now.
Where'd the picture go?
I don't. Yeah, we
It's
fix the vertical linear. Fix the vertical fix the vertical linearity.
Yes.
And here are the knobs for the TV.
Oh, yeah. And if you lose those knobs, you have to get some pliers from the toolbox to change the channel.
Something like that. I thought I'd get this little board,
Yeah.
which I can actually draw on.
Yes.
I picked this up at Staples.
Who needs a Zenith? You got when you got Keith drawing your television for you.
Wow! I'm a color TV, RCA Victor Color TV. In our home, it's color now. Wow! I'm a color TV.
Every color you ever wanted, as long as it's blue.
As long as it's blue. We'll all be colored neighbors.
Hey, we're on low battery right now.
Really?
Yes, that's it.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I charged it all afternoon.
Did you watch it, Eddie?
No, I charged. Well,
That's why you should always have it plugged
put
in.
it on charge. Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna have a very short show, unless you want to wait.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'll go get the.
Get the charger and I'll entertain the fans.
If it doesn't poop out on us now.
Come on.
Poop out, I say.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hey, it's still there.
No, it's a new.
Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. I was the end.
It's the end of that one.
Yeah, we'll have to go live
You
again.
could save that one and then.
Yeah.
How many minutes was it? Oh, it's 31. Oh, great. Then we can do another 30.
Yeah, we had a commercial. Tell people we had a commercial.
Commercial, yes. Save it and then start again.
But
Just push.
where do I go
Let's
live?
go in live video.
Oh.
You haven't really turned it on. Okay. Now, don't just end it.